Viking here at Nagel's GunShop in San Antonio, Texas. Today we're going to look at some staccatos. We got quite a few different options to look at, but one of the big things that's available currently that we really like are these black DLC barrels. The barrel itself is now coated with a DLC coating that's a diamond-like coating or diamond-like carbon. This is one of the best coatings available for any kind of metal. It's actually really hard, so it will hold up really well. They wear excellently. It's not like some of the other coatings out there that are actually almost like a glorified paint that will come off on any bearing surface where something is scraping or hitting. DLC holds up amazingly well. It is one of the best finishes you can get. I have a knife from like 2007 that was one of the first to have DLC on it. Carried it every day, used it all the time, and it still looks practically new anywhere but the cutting surface. So DLC is an excellent coating for stuff like this. And of course you can get the finish to all match this way. It's all black. There's no two-tone going on with the slide frame and barrel. Also, it's got a very high lubricity, so it's a very smooth coating, and that just plays together with Staccato's excellent fitting of these pistols, the 2011s. They're very smooth actions. They ride very well on their frame rails. They're fitted excellently, and they have very smooth surfaces. So it's not one of those guns that's so tight that you can't easily cycle it. It is really smooth to cycle and not hard and grabby like some overly tight frames can get. Also, we have the option for threaded barrels. That's something that's pretty neat to get. If you ever want to get a suppressor or are thinking about one in the future, you can get a threaded barrel, on a Staccato 2011. So that's a pretty handy thing to have if you ever want to have a quiet pistol at the range. It's a very fun experience if you ever get one. We also have the example here of the Tack Texture grip on the Ps, and this is the non-Tack Texture grip that's on the C2. The C2 does not currently have a Tack Texture option, but of course this grip can sometimes be a little better for ultra concealment kind of rolls. The Tack Texture though is really grippy. It's got a really good sweat resistance. It's not all slippery like a lot of modern plastic gun frames are. This polymer is very grippy. It feels not like sandpaper. It's not going to rub your skin off completely like some guns do, but it's very sweat resistant, very grease resistant. It's very grippy even with a lot of stuff on your hands. So it's kind of the perfect mix. It also contours very well. It's got that nice undercut and all of that. And of course we also have these in both aluminum and steel frames. Externally they look pretty much identical, aluminum and steel, but the steel frame's of course heavier. Some people like that because they shoot a little softer. A steel frame 2011 almost shoots like a BB gun in 9mm. They're very soft shooting. But of course they're heavier. If you actually want to go carry this for 12 hours or something, you might want to really give some thought to the aluminum. It's actually sold better for us because once you have this in your hand, you can actually feel that the aluminum frames are a lot easier to carry. They still shoot quite well. They still shoot with, in my opinion, less recoil than the most common polymer frame pistols out there. But the aluminum frame makes it so it's not a super heavy pistol in a holster on your side. So that's something that's nice to consider. We have both options though, and of course if you come in person you can always handle both and get a feel for it, but if I was just recommending a gun to someone, I typically steer them towards the aluminum frames. They're very good pistols. It will hold up great, it shoots great, and it's easier to carry than the iron, steel frames. Of course we do free shipping to the lower 48. So that's something that's very nice to have. A lot of dealers are going to charge you a lot to ship a gun like this. You got to keep in mind they got to pay for insurance on a gun that's worth insuring, and that adds a lot to shipping charges, but we're going to ship it to your dealer at no additional cost. And of course if you order it from us, you have the option of getting one of these freebies. Now it is subject to availability. We don't always have both available at the same time, but we either give you a magazine or we give you a holster. The magazines currently are Atlas magazines, which are excellent. These are some of the best out there. And the holster currently is a Stealth Gear. It's a very good holster, highly recommended. That's something you're not going to get from most other places, so that's something that you should keep in mind if you're looking at ordering one of these in the near future. We try to keep as many of these in stock as possible. We are a big-time Staccato dealer. We get tons of these in, so if you're trying to find a hard-to-find Staccato, you have something particular in mind, give us a call. There's a good chance that we have it. Of course, these have optics-ready options. That's always good. If you want to put a red dot on this, you can. It's not going to be some kind of aftermarket milled nonsense. This comes ready to put an optic on it from factory on this one. And of course, we have excellent fiber optic sights. These guns are fitted just excellently. They have very smooth actions, very easy to cycle, but still very tight. There's no play at all. They have safeties. If you were an old school 1911 connoisseur, you know that the safety really tells you if someone bothered to fit a 1911, right? And a safety should not be squishy. It should be decisive. It should snap between off and on. It should let you know where it is, and it should feel like it's not going to break in your hand if you push on it with a ton of force. And these are definitely well built. There's no staking to worry about like on some lesser 1911 brands. These 2011s have really good plunger assemblies. They have high quality ambi safeties. That's another big deal. A lot of ambi safeties for 2011s and 1911s are very poorly made actually. These are excellent, high quality. They're robust. You don't have to worry about them breaking off or anything like some of the lesser 1911 brands have had histories of. These are actually put together with good thought and good fitting. They're fit properly. They snap on and off like they should. And it's not loose. You have to put a little bit of force into it to actually get it to change, which is important. You want a safety to stay where you put it. And a lot of other just little details like that a lot of manufacturers just kind of forget when they try to make a 1911. You know, these guys really put thought into it. They have a lot of 1911 experience that they've moved over to the 2011s, and they're excellent pistols. So we'd be glad to show you one of these if you're in San Antonio area. I'd like to come in and take a look at it. If you want to order one over the phone, have it shipped to your dealer, we can do that too. We absolutely love Staccato here. They are excellent firearms, and we would recommend them to anyone that's looking for a high-quality carry gun or competition gun. Look forward to seeing or hearing from you soon.